Hi everyone. Yeah, you know, when I start laughing at the beginning of an intro, it's because I just messed up a previous take. Um, Dan from DBaca Maker here. I'm following up on the mallet build that I started in the last video. Now, you've seen me build my joiner's mallet, and you've seen me build my blacksmith's mallet. And I had gotten started on a carving mallet. You saw it in the vise and I was shaving it down. Well, this is the rest of that build. I don't know if you could call it a build because I'm taking stuff away from the table leg rather than adding stuff to it. So let's just call it a project, all right? So here's how that finished out. Also, I found the pieces of the guard that had broken off. And for the moment, I have super glued them back into place. I used a higher, what they call a high-test cyanoacrylate rather than a standard, like you get it out of the little tube super glue. But to hold it in place, I used this packing tape while it was curing, and it turns out it glued to the packing tape too, so I can't take this packing tape off. I'll add a little bit of reinforcement. Then I've restored this stock. This is what broke off the last time, and that's why the guard was able to drop down too far and catch right here on the inside. The other reason is that there is a spacer that's supposed to go in here, a little plastic runner that fills in the gap between this and this, the actuator arm. And that's missing too. So whenever I use the saw, it's not plugged in right now. Whenever I use the saw, I have to physically pull that up so that it has a nice smooth road, and then I can run it. I'm never going to trust that this is not going to fall apart again on me while I'm using it. So in the future, if I can't use my radial arm saw, I will use this one with basically full body armor on. Face mask, goggles, everything, just in case this thing decides to break apart again. I've already started on my mallet. The head's going to be down here, and I'm working the handle down right now. And I'm doing that with a mixture of draw knife and a sanding belt that's been cut open for that purpose. I'm doing a lot of the stock removal with the bandsaw and then my large belt sander. It'll get down to finer stuff later. It's slightly overhanging on this side, which I can compensate for because this is not the final shape of the head. It's going to be a little bit more tapered. So let me just back to the sander. Okay. That belt's pretty full by now. I got most of the paint off. I will use my portable belt sander for some of these other areas, but now it's time to start chiseling in this shoulder. Okay, that tells me that I wasn't all that accurate when I made my saw cut. Still seeing, where are you? Still seeing the kerf right here. So I will just tear this away until I see no more kerf on this side. Yeah, you can't see that. The depth of the kerf on this side is going to be the same all the way around. Although, it might not be necessary to do so. Because again, this is slightly lopsided, so I might just shape that down a little bit and take away some of that extra kerf edge. Alright, well, the more I work with it, the more it's going to turn out the way I want. So, let me just keep on going around. Catch up with you later. A little bit more refinement to go, but I'm not selling this to anyone, and this is good enough for me. So, just gonna hit it with some boiled linseed oil.